Welcome, everybody, to Dick Storks and Destinies. I'm your host, Chapel, and today I'm here with Zitty, the Kid, and Crash, and we're talking about upcoming movies for 2024 and possibly 2025 that we've seen previews to, and some we're excited about, and others we're not so much. So we'll go ahead and start this off with a bang. The new Borderlands movie looks like absolute garbage.
Hmm.
And I have several reasons why. Would anyone else like to take a shot at a movie or take a shot at Borderlands?
Well,
If I
me,
watch it, I'll wait till it hits the streaming.
That's how I
Hey,
feel
look,
too.
at this point, as far as any and all movies that are coming out this year or next year, there's only one that I know of that I'm definitely going to go watch in movie theaters,
Okay.
Deadpool.
and that is Deadpool 3.
Okay.
As
He's
far
settling for
as
that because there ain't no new Twilight coming out.
as far as all the other movies that are coming out, I'm more likely going to wait till they hit fucking streaming services because I'm not,
It's cheaper.
as well versed in the Borderlands games like you are. But I'm not looking forward to seeing that pile of garbage.
Well, okay. So let's go over the first. We'll go over Borderlands first. So let's start with my main issue, and that is the casting. The only person I like in this casting is Jack Black. I don't know why they have Krieg as a huge dude because he was not a huge dude in the game. He was a tiny little dude in the games. And he was a bonus character for DLC in the first game. He was not a recurring character. He's not a beloved character to my knowledge. I might be wrong. Some more diehard fans might like him. But he never came back in any of the other games. And they completely left out Brick and Mordecai. Kevin Hart plays Roland, and I love Roland, but Roland is not a character who makes a bunch of stupid jokes all the time. He's also would have been better cast as Terry Crews or The Rock should have played that character.
Okay, so I pulled up the cast list. Half of these people I don't know, but I can give you their character names.
Okay.
Ariana Greenblatt is playing Tiny Tina.
Tiny Tina is from the second game, which baffles me why they included her. Because her whole
Kate
story.
Blanchett
Yeah, okay. Kate
is
Blanchett.
Lilith.
Lilith is from the first game. She's the siren. And you find out in the second game, because the second game is based more around the story. The sirens, there's only like 5 sirens for the entire galaxy. And they're connected to the
Then,
vaults. That's why she's there.
then you've got Gina Gershon, I guess that's her name, as Mad Moxie.
I,
She wasn't.
she looked,
She wasn't in much.
yeah,
She's like a side quest character.
yeah. She was
You
in
go
all
to.
the games, but she was a side quest character. The same as like Jamie Lee Curtis's character. Jamie Lee Curtis is shown off like she's like a primary character, but her character is like you only see her like 4 times in the whole game, and she's not a klutz. She's a genius, but she's crazy.
Jamie Lee Curtis is playing Dr. Patricia something. I can't read the rest of it because it just cuts it off. And every time I try to click on it, it just gives me Jamie Lee Curtis's shit. So, as you mentioned, Krieg is played by Florian Mantu. I don't fucking know his name. Bobby Lee is Larry. Benjamin Davis as Marcus. Claptrap as Jack Black. Roland as Kevin Hart. Ellie as Ryan Redmond. Commander something. I don't know. I don't even know how to pronounce her name, so I'm moving on. Hammerlock is Charles Bablola. I don't fucking know. Crom, Scooter, Atlas, Jacobs, Penn Gillette's playing Mark. I don't even know. I don't even fucking remember Mark in the games. And that's about it. That's about all of the famous people that are in there. Oh wait, I forgot. Justin Price is playing Psycho.
Yeah, and I think they viewed him as like one of the heroes.
Which character? I know that name all too well.
Okay. So Jamie Lee Curtis is playing Dr. Tannis. Dr. Tannis is a genius in the games, but she's insane. She'll say
that's
things.
That's what I thought. Psycho is the one from the fucking games that always holds his fucking fingers up to his fucking head like guns.
Yeah, because he's the psycho. That's your generic cannon fodder like enemy. There's like 1,000 of them.
Then they get bigger.
Is he playing all the psychos?
I don't know. They just list him as Psycho, like the main character of Psycho.
No, I don't think he's playing all of them. I think from what in the trailer it shows that he tags along with Roland and them.
Well, I mean, even in the fucking
No, because that's Krieg. That's Krieg who tags along with Roland and them.
Well, from what I'm seeing of the fucking, you know what? I'm just gonna screenshot this motherfucker and I'm gonna post it in the chat. Where's the chat at for the current? There we go. Here you guys go. That is not Krieg. Sitting right.
Yeah, it is.
Up front.
That's Krieg. Sitting in the middle.
That's Krieg?
That's Krieg. Sitting on Claptrap? Yeah, that's Krieg. Krieg's the psycho. He was a DLC character so that you could try to play a melee psycho in the game. He never came back for Borderlands 2. He was never in Borderlands 3. And he wasn't in Tales from the Borderlands.
And it's Tiny Tina sitting on him, right?
Yeah, and she was from Borderlands 2 and Borderlands 3. And they didn't give her the fucking bunny ears until Borderlands 3. And that was still retarded then. Because Tiny Tina is an exceptionally thought out character. Like, she's crazy and loves explosives. And the reason why she's crazy and loves explosives is because she's like 10 to 12 years old and had to watch her family be brutally tortured to death and then had to use explosives to escape being killed herself.
Mm-hmm.
And then they make her some kind of angsty, I make penis jokes teenager. That doesn't make any fucking sense. Oh, Jesus. That's so fucking stupid.
Well, I mean, it is Hollywood. They'll turn anything good or decent into a fucking hot pile of garbage.
The thing is they made the D&D movie good enough so that you didn't have to understand the fucking game to enjoy the movie. And they did the same thing with the Mario movie. You didn't have to know Mario to a T to enjoy the movie. But if you knew Mario or you knew D&D really well, you enjoyed it that much more because you knew more about what the fuck was going on than everyone else. They didn't butcher the fucking story. They didn't butcher the fucking universe. If you want to make your own universe, and that's one of the arguments, well, maybe they want to tell their own story for the new, then don't make a fucking video game. Don't pick a video game to be the basis for your story. Because guess what? That shit's already established. And people that like it are not going to enjoy your story.
If you want to do something like that, make your own fucking movie, make your own fucking story, and base it off of fucking video game characters. Don't literally give them the actual characters' names.
I'm just waiting on the Grand Theft Auto movie.
You know what? They
Nah,
could, because at first I was like, they can't fuck that up too bad. And then I got to thinking about it, and I'm like, no, there's campaigns for those games, and there's storylines for those games since GTA 3 came out. Like closely written storylines with like interesting character development and building. No, they'll
And
fuck
the
that
fact-
up.
I was
They
gonna
will
say,
fuck that
yeah,
all up.
they can fuck that up considering the fact that Vice City is centralized around one character.
Mhm.
Okay.
And the fact you can run over hookers. They wouldn't put that in a movie.
Yeah, that's a shame.
I want my money back.
Hey.
If you do not pick up a hooker, let her perform her duties, get out of the car, and she gets out of the car, and then you immediately shoot her in the head, I don't want to watch the fucking movie.
Oh my god. Faded. Oh, yeah. See, this is very much one of those victims of social justice warriors gone crazy, because they left out Scooter but put in Ellie.
No, Scooter's there.
No, Scooter's not in the movie.
They've got someone cast as Scooter.
Is he? Oh, Stephen Boyer. Okay. I don't know, man. Ellie's in there too, and she didn't show up till games 2 and 3. And what you want to bet, she overshadows Scooter. Like he has a partial thing, and then they just make her the crux of the.
Was she the mechanic?
Yeah, she's a mechanic too. So is he. They're both mechanics. The thing is that Scooter is in the second game is kind of contained in the main city hub at the beginning of the game that you start in. And Ellie's like out in the Borderlands at her shop, and you go out and you visit her to get shit done because she has things for you to do.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember driving the car, slinging the barrels.
Yeah, that was fun.
Mm-hmm.
And the thing is, I liked her character. I don't have a problem with her character in general. I have a problem with the fact that the people that made this probably made this in a women are better than men kind of mentality and are going to throw that in. I just feel like that's how it's going to be portrayed. I mean, if someone else has a argument against that, they're welcome to tell me.
No, I'm not arguing on this one.
I do not know enough to have a good opinion. One thing that's a random thought that I'm kind of excited about is I heard a story that Jack Black makes a theme song for like every movie he's in. So it'd be kind of fun to eventually hear whatever song he creates for his character for this movie. So that'd be kind of fun to figure out what he does.
I think that could be fun.
Huh.
I don't like Jack Black in everything he does, but I like him generally as a person, and I've never heard anything like terrible about him, and I like him generally as an actor for a lot of things he's been in.
He did good in the Jumanji reboots.
Yeah.
Or
He's awesome.
add-ons.
Yeah. And the thing is he plays himself. He is himself. He doesn't pretend to be something he's not or someone he's not for the sake of Hollywood.
Right. Look at his band, Tenacious D.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's an amazing little band.
Okay,
Those
well,
two guys are hilarious.
here's how this is what they've got showing in storyline. Lilith is an infamous bounty hunter with a mysterious past. Reluctantly returns home, Pandora, the most chaotic planet in the galaxy. Her mission is to find the missing daughter of Atlas, the universe's most powerful SOB. Lilith forms an unexpected alliance with a ragtag team of misfits. Roland, a seasoned mercenary on a mission, Tiny Tina, a feral preteen demolitionist. Krieg, Tina's muscle-bound protector. Tanis, the oddball scientist who's seen it all. And Claptrap, a wise-ass robot. Together, these unlikely heroes must battle an alien species and dangerous bandits to uncover one of Pandora's most explosive secrets. The fate of the universe could be in their hands, but they'll be fighting for something more, each other.
Which game did we have to track down a person? Because it's like all of them, you just go after a vault.
So in the first one, you went after the vault, but in the second one, in the second one, Handsome Jack tries to kill you, like during the opening credits of the game.
Its genres action, adventure, comedy, sci-fi, thriller, and based upon a video game.
I don't think they played the same video game we did.
I don't think they did.
I don't think they played the same video game that any of us did.
All right, so for some context, I'm going to put up some side by sides.
I don't quite recall Lilith being a good guy.
No, Lilith was a good guy. You played her in the first game.
Yeah, she's not a bounty hunter, I don't think. Because she, like, hires you to find the vault, I think. Because the most recent one I played was Borderlands 3. And you had to get Lilith her powers back because the twins took her powers. Along with some others.
Yeah. Yeah, that the third game was fucking awful with its storyline too.
It's kind of short because after you got to like level 37, it's like you're done.
Yeah. Yeah, but the games, all the Borderlands games are designed with the idea that you just go back and start from the beginning again with you go back and start from the beginning again with your current level.
Oh.
So like everything you replay the game and you still keep leveling up.
Yeah, I moved on. I'm on Helldivers, so you know.
For democracy.
Right.
Okay.
Which the wife works Friday, so I know what I'm going to be doing.
Nice.
So before we move on, so one character I've started seeing a lot of movies is this Edgar Ramirez. He plays a guy named Atlas. He's like a bad guy.
Atlas?
Yeah.
Actually, in the original game, Atlas is one of the guys who he owns one of the 4 gun manufacturers in the game. So like when you play the game, different manufacturers do different things. Tidor guns, when you reload them, you throw them like a grenade and they explode.
Oh, crazy.
And then you got Zed for the health.
Yep.
Cool. I look forward to seeing that particular actor again because I said I liked some stuff he's done. One thing that, without knowing much about the game still, so I'm sorry for not having any knowledge of that, but it sounds like if they're mixing like storylines from like 4 or 5 movies all together into like probably like a 2-hour tops movie. I don't know if they released the length of the film, but that sounds like a lot to pack into a small movie. I sound crazy for thinking that, or not really?
No.
No. You're pretty much nailing that one on the head. It's an hour and 42-minute movie that they're basically pulling bits and pieces of Borderlands I don't remember how many they are exactly, but I'm just gonna say like 1 through 4. They're pulling bits and pieces from each fucking video game and then throwing it in a mixing pot, stirring it up, and trying to feed us hot garbage.
Yeah. Well, I'm just gonna get 3 side by sides. Uh, I'm gonna do Tannis, Roland, and Lilith.
Because this is also based on the best-selling video game. This all-star action adventure follows a ragtag team of misfits on a mission to save a missing girl who holds the key to unimaginable power.
If I can find one of these that actually has a JPEG, Jesus.
So just based off that little premise you read, like, are any of the games about this girl you're trying to rescue? Is that like the basic premise of any of the games?
No,
No,
no.
as Crash said it, your main objective is to find a vault that Lilith wants you to find.
Mm-hmm. Now, in
And
that
then
vault,
one of
it can
them,
have legendary weapons, but you have to fight the vault protector or whatever, and sometimes that's a pain in the butt.
This is kind of off topic in a way. But they made a movie like a year or two ago based off a video game, and now I freaking remember the title of it. But I have never played that game, but I really liked the movie Uncharted. I watched that movie and I thought it was a great movie. But did any of you guys ever play the Uncharted games?
Yeah, I got all of them.
Did that follow any of the storylines? I don't know if they just kind of took the
I
concept
didn't
of
really.
it
No.
or what. Okay.
I didn't watch the movie.
no,
Oh, it was a great movie. I think you should watch it. But
it's a good movie for what it is, but no, it didn't
because
follow the games whatsoever.
maybe
Because
that's kind of. I'm sorry. Keep going.
in the first one and two, in the third one, I think he's just out there looking for all this treasure,
Yep.
and he's hired as a hunter to find it. And then I think the fourth one, because there's also one called The Thief's End, and they replaced him with some females. I think I didn't play that one, but one of them goes back to his younger days, where him and his brother is escaping the orphanage that they're at or something. So, like I said, I haven't seen the movie, but in the games, he's hired to find all this treasure.
Well, I guess the reason why I kind of brought up that idea too is maybe Eli Roth, whoever the writers are besides just the director, maybe the concept is this is a movie based off the characters, based off that video game, but not necessarily like, hey, we made this movie to follow this plot perfectly. Maybe that's kind of his idea.
I think that's all their idea, especially when they do books, movies off of books.
Well, the thing is movies movies off of books tend to be at least coherent. But this list looks like a jumbled up mess.
No, it's a jumbled up fucking mess. Uncharted wasn't exactly. I can't really go into much of that because I didn't play much of the video games myself. But
Hey, you can buy them cheap because they put 1, 2, and 3 all on one disc.
That's awesome.
you're fucking with a well-versed storyline when you're creating a movie based off a video game. And there are some diehard fans out there for specific video games. That would be like them giving us a full-on version of Halo. and rewriting the storyline about the flood, the covenant, and everything else.
Well, go to Paramount Plus and you can watch the TV show.
No, I'm not watching that TV show. I refuse to watch that TV show.
Here we go. Don't read this article because it's nothing but praise for Hollywood. I don't like most journalism in gaming anyway, or film, because they just tend to be paid by the companies to write good reviews and not criticize them. But here's a link that you can just quick compare just about everybody. And yeah, they race swapped at least one person. And they, oh my God.
Mad Moxie doesn't look like Mad Moxie from the game.
The thing is in the movie, she at least looks like Bad Moxie. And I'm not even upset with that. That's like, of the atrocious casting, that's the least of their, like, atrocities.
Lilith isn't that bad.
No, Lilith is definitely terrible. Lilith in the games is supposed to be like 23, 24. Kate Blanchett is in her mid-50s.
Right. I'm not talking about at that point, but I mean, I'm looking at facial features too.
That's fair. That's fair.
Marcus, he looks a little thinner than what he should be.
Yeah, but I don't know an actor that would really be able to fit that role. But I don't have a problem with Marcus, really.
Can't really compare Claptrap there because Jack Black is not a robot.
Right.
Oh yeah, they race swapped him.
Yeah, they race swapped Hammerlock. He's supposed to be like
Hammerlock.
this old white Englishman. And look, in this article, they must have got a mod or something to change his skin color in the game, because he doesn't look like that in the game.
I mean, Krieg
So
is a hell of a lot tanner than what he should be.
So you're saying the picture of Hammerlock on this Game Rant site, he doesn't look as dark in the game?
Let me find a picture of Hammerlock.
Because he looks fairly, not to sound insensitive, fairly black in that picture.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I feel like I don't think Dwayne should be Roland. Definitely Kevin Hart shouldn't be Roland. I think Terry Crews should be Roland.
Yeah, Terry Crews would have been much better.
You're going to go with a muscular black guy. You need someone a little bit taller than Kevin Hart. Yeah, no. Tannis is just, no. Ellie looked like she fucking ate more than what she should have been doing.
About saying in the game, Ellie is big.
Yeah.
And country.
Oh, it looks like they race swapped Tiny Tina too.
Yeah, they did. I'm pretty sure they did. I don't know, man. Like, I feel like they've gone back and swapped some stuff out. Because I'm looking at stuff from Borderlands 2, and it looks like they've changed things in the Borderlands 2. But I remember him being an old white English guy. But in all the pictures, he's black.
Maybe it's that facial hair. It's very, very proper.
Sir Hammerlock.
Like, but the thing is I remember his hair also being like white.
He might have been black because he looks white to me. Maybe it's just because of the lighting of the fucking video games and shit.
I don't know, man, because I think they race swapped him for the third game, and then they went back and changed all the files in the. You know what? There's an easier way to find this out.
Turn on the game.
Nope. Go back to YouTube. No, because what I'm saying is they've already changed. If they change the files in the game, you go to play the game now, and it's whatever they want it to be. They just do an update, and it changes the files. But if I go to YouTube, do a search, and find something from like 10, 12 years ago, that'll show.
Okay. Well, not that this matters at all whatsoever.
No, it don't.
But
It doesn't.
well, no, sorry. What we're talking about matters, but my little information about this topic doesn't matter as much. But according to voice actors for video games, Borderlands 2, Borderlands the prequel, and Borderlands 3 all have the same white voice actor for Sir Hamrock. Not saying it could change the way he's like the coloring of his cartoon character, but he's voiced by a white guy. J. Michael Tatum, who's done a lot of anime too. He's a very well-known voice actor, I guess.
No, J. Michael Tatum, he's a very, very famous fucking voice actor.
So his list of anime alone is very large.
Yeah, I can tell you a few characters right off the top of my head. He plays Scar in Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood. He plays as fuck, I don't remember the guy's name, but he plays in Soul Eater. My Hero Academia, he plays as Ingenium. Well, the student Ingenium, not his brother.
Yeah, no, he's white. He just has a tan.
Oh.
J. Michael also plays in a few others. One of my wife's favorite ones is Black Butler. He plays as Sebastian Michaelis. So,
yeah. Anyway, no, I have issues with Haley Bennett. Haley Bennett unannounced role. I bet you anything Haley Bennett is playing Angel, because Angel's in the first two games, but you don't find out their name's Angel until the second game.
Yeah, I keep looking. I looked into that a little closer. I couldn't find anything on like IMDb. It just says actress or like a lot of stuff. Like her like name for her character is not released at all. It's just she's gonna be in it. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah. No, I guarantee you she plays Angel.
okay, well, we've all seen the atrocity that is going to be Borderlands 2. Well, Borderlands the movie.
Yeah. Okay, let's move on. Kid, I'm going to let you take over from here because now we're talking about the Crow remake.
Oh, darn.
Oh, goody, the Crow remake. Okay, first of all, I'm not too terribly upset with them remaking the entire storyline,
Okay.
but I am upset about it. Because you're fucking with, not only are you fucking with the original movie and what they envisioned for that, but you're fucking with the actual graphic novels setting. The world that they're creating in this film is not the world that Eric grew up in.
Okay, so, but I've watched The Crow more than once. I've watched it a couple times. I really enjoyed it, but I haven't seen it in so long that I don't remember it. And I remember as when we were younger, you were way more into it than I was.
Oh, I love that film.
So
I love that character.
Can you do me a favor? Can you let's just compare films. Like
Okay.
where's your first problem in the trailer when you're watching it?
First problem in the trailer when I'm watching it is whenever Eric, which is played by Bill Skarsgård, talks about where he met Shelley.
Oh yeah, no, I had a problem with that, and not even from a I know the Crow lore standpoint.
That is my first major fucking problem right there. Eric and Shelley did not meet in a fucking mental institution.
Is that where they are? I thought they were in some kind of weird, we dress up our prisoners in pink kind of prison.
No, that's a fucking mental institution.
Hey, was that the guy that played Pennywise?
Yeah.
Yes, he's the guy that plays Pennywise. His brother
So he
is
got
Alexander
locked up in the loony
Skarsgård.
bin. He got locked up in the loony bin. Now he's coming out.
That's
Like I
not
said,
as a clown.
I don't have any issues as Bill playing Eric.
He's an amazing actor.
That's what most people have an issue with. Bill is an amazing actor, no matter what they put him in. Actually, the entire Skarsgård family are filled with amazing actors.
Mm-hmm.
It's the storyline. Eric does not meet Shelley in a goddamn mental institution. He's a fucking musician. And she shows up at one of his shows.
They flipped a coin. Loony bin, concert. Concert's been done 1,000 times. Let's put them in a loony bin. That's how they settled that.
How do we want to make people who want to be famous like seem stable and attractive? No. Let's have them meet in a mental institution. That's a healthy relationship right there.
And I'll give you all this little breakdown because even the Brandon Lee film doesn't cover it. But here's how it goes. Eric and his fiancée Shelley are on their way back from a romantic getaway when their vehicle breaks down on a deserted road. A car full of gang members stops, not to help, but to take advantage of the couple's misfortune. They shoot Eric in the head, paralyzing him while they rape and kill his fiancée in the car. While Eric dies hours later at the hospital, a year later he's resurrected by the Crow, and Eric exacts his vengeance on the men responsible for their deaths. That is the whole premise of the fucking graphic novel.
Yeah. I mean, it's like...
that whole shit right there takes place in the first film. It's not on their little getaway. It's their honeymoon in their fucking bullshit apartment.
Yeah.
And the whole gang comes breaking in because they're tenants of this building. They're getting all the other tenants behind them to go against the slumlord leader of the gang. And he wants them all taken care of. So they go after the couple that's causing the most fucking chaos for the fucking owner.
Yeah. Which, again, that makes sense. It doesn't fit, or it's not exactly like in the graphic novel, but it makes sense.
Yeah, you're right. It doesn't fit, but it makes sense. And the reason why it makes sense is because of the actions that the gang takes. 1, beating the living shit out of Eric. 2, practically killing him, making him forcing him to watch as they violate, rape, and fucking murder his fiancée or his wife.
Yeah. Evil people do evil shit. I don't understand why there's so many people that are like, you don't have to put that in media. You don't have to put that in media. Evil people do evil shit. If you don't have examples of that, you get too sensitized to evil shit happening around you, and you can't react to it because you're in shock of it happening. Evil people do evil shit. Get used to the idea of it happening in media. Yes, I agree. We shouldn't be exposing this to our kids. But adults need to understand that this is the kind of things that happen in real life. And you need to be desensitized to it to the point that you can react if you see it happening around you. Sorry, I'm on a tangent again. Sorry. Go ahead.
No. That's perfectly fine. That's my major. Like I said, that's my major problem with this film. I don't care that they're going back and remaking this film. I find it in a way to be distasteful and disrespectful to the actor who portrayed Eric to begin with, who died while making this film. that you're going back and redoing the storyline that he signed up for.
Yeah, but it's not like he wrote the thing. Or did he? Did he write it?
He worked closely with the writer of he worked closely with the script writer.
So
Brandon, in that sense, was so immersed into this film. He's pretty much what Henry Cavill got fired for.
right. So my thing is like you see that as an insult, but not the sequels to the original Crow.
There was a bunch. I looked
The
into
sequels.
that.
The sequels, I do have as an insult, but not really at that much, considering the fact that they're not Eric.
The thing
Eric's Crow is done and over with. This is other people who the Crow has bestowed the power onto to get their vengeance for being brutally, wrongfully, and horrifically murdered.
Yeah. The thing is you know, when they do remakes like this, like I don't really see it as an insult, man. I mean, it's not like they could be like, "Hey, Brandon, what do you think about this?" He's not around anymore.
True. They can't ask him about it, but still, you're fucking with the storyline.
It's like if they went and remade Hook, and then they were like, you know, and you were like, "Well, this seems like an insult to to Robin Williams."
Nah. But would they fuck with the Hook storyline?
It doesn't, dude. I'm sorry. It's a remake. You gotta expect these things at a certain level.
It may be a remake, but still, they're going off the whole fact that Shelley and Eric meet in a goddamn mental institution.
No, I completely agree
when they
with
never
that.
were there.
Yeah, I completely agree with
The
that.
characters
Neither one of them
themselves were never there.
Yeah, the characters were never in a mental institution. That doesn't make any fucking sense. No, I agree with you on that one. The whole mental institution thing, that's crazy. Because when I saw it, I thought they were in a prison. Because I could have swore they were like in a fenced in area with like barbed wire at the top. So I thought they were in a prison, and I was like, they don't keep men and women in the same prisons. That's just no, they don't do that at all. That's a terrible idea. So, at least at least your version is a little bit more thought out than mine, or compared to what we saw. But yeah. Okay. Do you have anything else you want to mention about that?
I mean, just the whole premise behind it. I mean, it's it shows them being tracked down by the fucking mental asylum people that were in charge.
Yeah.
Like this is not their story. Their story is they're brutally murdered by a gang of people. And there are two different graphic novels. One of them shows them coming back from their little romantic getaway. The other one is the one that we see in the film, which is the drug lord and his gang, and they're murdered right before their fucking wedding.
Yeah.
So like the whole even concept of he's a rock star was kind of made up, not to like diss that movie, but that was still kind of a made up idea just to give the characters more like depth that he was a rock star.
No, I mean, he's not exactly a rock star. He's like an indie rock star. He's not even famous. Their band is like
their band's local. Yeah, their band. He's a local musician. He's not like famous or anything like that.
And she's working in the bar that he fucking plays in. So she's a bartender at that time. And whenever he's on stage, his presence stops her from working. They meet, or they lock eyes from across the room, and that's, the love at first sight shit.
Yeah, the trope of love at first sight, yeah.
Gotcha. Because what little I read about
this shows two tortured souls in a fucking mental asylum who fall in love that way, somehow get out of the mental asylum, start to build a life together, then the the people who own the mental asylum come back for them. I'm assuming to either kill them or drag them back, one or the other.
From what I saw in the preview, she saw some criminal activity that she wasn't supposed to see. So when they got out, like whoever the criminal was had them murdered because she was like the target, but he was just there. That still doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. Okay.
That's in about every movie. Don't
Yeah.
leave no witnesses.
Well, no, I get that. That part, like the leave no witnesses, makes sense to me. It just seems like it seems like they toned down the seriousness of what happens and then make it to be like this atrocious thing that is so bad that the Crow has to bring his soul back. But still, there's people getting murdered all the time in various different ways and in more horrible different ways. But Crows never bring their bodies back, so what's the fucking difference?
Yeah, that's the thing is the graphic novels behind this, the films that followed. I'll just use Eric because the City of Angels and all that shit, that's completely different people. Eric and Shelley die in such a horrific and violent way that the Crow feels that it needs to make the wrong things right and bring back Eric to set the wrong things right. The Crow itself is the supernatural being.
Right.
And the Crow witnesses everything to Eric and Shelley.
Yeah. Well, so it's ultimately
Eric,
up to the being, to the Crow,
yeah,
that being.
Eric is just a host at this point.
Yeah. The thing is like, okay, so I can get behind that. I can understand that. And honestly, I kind of like the whole them, and they can do this more now. They can make it more showy about how he's just getting shot and it's not doing anything to him. He'll fall down, but he just gets right back up.
Right.
Did you watch the show at all when it was coming out?
Which show?
The Crow, the series.
Yes.
Okay. So I kind of liked the lore behind that with the idea of like you had the crows, but you also had like the serpents.
Yep.
That I thought that was pretty cool. I'm hoping they do something with that, but it's Hollywood. They're going to fuck it up. So
They're not going to do anything with it. From what we've seen of the trailer, this is, like I said, I'm not too terribly upset that they're remaking this film.
yeah,
I have my major gripes about this film, and it's just it's just bad. It is very, very fucking bad. I want to see the movie. I don't know if I'm going to go to the theaters and watch it or not. But it is not. It's just not one of my top favorite films that are coming out right now.
Yeah. So now we're moving to Kraven the Hunter.
Hollywood's another fuck up of comic books. Okay, gotcha.
Like, who was doing this? Is it Sony that's doing this, or is it?
I know that Sony owns Spider-Man stuff, own the Marvel stuff, so it could be a Sony film because of that. I'm gonna look into it right now. I didn't watch this because I was more getting ready to do Fallout earlier in the podcast, so I didn't watch this trailer yet.
No, it's all right. We're going to talk about Fallout after this, so that's okay. So
I would have to believe that Kraven the Hunter is a Sony production.
Yeah, it's based on Marvel Comics, but it's being distributed by Sony Pictures.
Because like Ziddy mentioned, Sony does own like 90% of Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Even though Spider-Man is part of the MCU.
So
Yeah.
there's an interesting story behind that. Right before Disney got bought out, or Marvel bought, at some point, Marvel was losing money, so they sold the intellectual property of Spider-Man and all of its villains to Sony.
That was a long time ago, like
Yeah.
90s. Like it
Yeah,
was,
yeah,
yeah.
that was before Disney owned it. So yeah, but yeah, no, I don't understand why they're, because like, let's see here.
Like it wasn't as low as I thought. It was 1999 when Sony bought them for $7 million.
Yeah, no, Kraven the Hunter is a Kraven the Hunter originally was a mutant, and like he has a brother who is the Chameleon, and is one of like the founding members of the Sinister Six, which I think they really screwed up with not having in Spider-Man No Way Home. Having 3 Spider-Men versus the Sinister Six would have been great. All they needed was literally one more Spider-Man villain. They could have took anybody from any of those games. I'm going to have to...
Yeah, no, it's distributed by Sony. Okay, so yeah, Kraven. Well, he's never really been one of my go-to Spider-Man villains, even though he's not exactly a villain, but he is a villain.
No, he was always a villain. They just in the recent video games they kind of changed his character a little bit, but I didn't like that. I didn't like the way they changed his character. He was always a villain. He was always going around hunting people for sport. Like that was his thing. He would hunt dangerous mutants for sport because he enjoyed it. Usually he would hunt heroes because they had backup and friends that would help them. So it made the fight. It made it more dangerous.
He hunted metahumans, basically.
No. He hunted mutants. They don't use metahumans in Marvel. Metahumans is from DC. They're called mutants. They're called mutants.
Okay, so you're gonna tell me that White Tiger is a mutant?
There's mutants and there's magical people. White Tiger is magical. He's a magical
like I
mutant.
Said, you're gonna tell me White Tiger is a mutant? Because White Tiger was who Kraven liked to hunt the most. That's the reason why the White Tiger amulet keeps getting passed down from family member to family member to family member because Kraven keeps fucking killing them.
Yeah. God damn it. Marvel's writers can't even keep their own shit right. I wouldn't call them metahumans because I don't think they use that term in Marvel though.
They do, but they don't. Because that's their terminology, or no, actually, let me rephrase that. It's not metahuman, it's inhuman. Because Black Bolt is an inhuman.
Yeah. But the Inhumans are like aliens, aren't they? Like, aren't they all like from a different alien race?
They're actually Marvel's version of the Atlanteans.
But then, if they're Marvel's version of the Atlanteans, then who the fuck is Namor? Because Namor's like the Aquaman of the Marvel universe, right? Like he's the actual Atlantean in Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
So are all the? Oh, god damn it!
He's also called the Submariner.
Giggity.
Yep, the Submariner.
Yeah, Submariner.
No, see, that's the thing is, comic books have an inconsistency on their own.
Well, of course they do.
Yeah. A while.
It all depends on who was fucking drawing and who was writing at the time.
The thing is, though, you're absolutely right. They do have an inconsistency, because if they didn't, we wouldn't have 20 different versions of the same X-Men comic book, or 7 different versions of Spider-Man.
Or you wouldn't have had the first 3 movies where he didn't know if he wanted to be Spider-Man. I don't know.
See, that was my problem with that film. It's not so much as, well, actually, there was 2 problems I had with his film series. One was the eternal conflict of, or the internal conflict of, do I want to be Spider-Man or don't I want to be Spider-Man?
Well, no, that's part of the whole comic book, is the conflict of, I want to be a superhero, I have this power, I can do good with it. And then the flip side of that is, I have this superpower, I'm doing good with it, and the people around me are getting hurt.
And the organic webs, that was my other problem.
Yeah, the organic webs, I'm fine when people having issues with that, because that was never a thing in Spider-Man until that movie. But it made sense because his web shooters in the comic books, like,
He like the other 2 people that portray Spider-Man, which is Tom Holland and what's his face?
Andy Garfield. Yeah, and
Andrew Garfield. They had to make their own webs.
And I'm totally cool with
shooters.
that. And the thing is it makes sense because it adds drama. They don't go swinging around. They're not supposed to go swinging around like crazy, because they have a limit on how many webs they have to shoot around.
Right. How many times did they have to replace the web fluid cartridge?
Yeah.
Because there's been several times in TV shows and TV shows and comic books where Spider-Man's like, oh shit, I ran out of web fluid.
Yeah.
But yes, as far as Kraven the Hunter goes,
yeah. As far as
I just don't know.
Look, as far as Kraven the Hunter goes, unless they're going to make him a mutant, it doesn't make sense that a drop of lion's blood turns him into what he is. That doesn't make any fucking sense at all.
That's not, I like that too. Because before the show, you were watching that fucking trailer. We heard your brain explode.
Yeah.
That's not how mutants work.
Yeah.
And we didn't cause it this time.
Nope. And then the dude that's playing the Rhino is also a Spider-Man villain. Why would you have those 2 fight?
That was the Rhino in that
Yeah.
trailer?
Because he goes, that's why you're about to find out why they call me the Rhino. And then he starts transforming, and I'm like, God damn it. That doesn't make sense, movie. Now, granted, I understand, because they don't want to work with Marvel, so they don't want to ask Marvel for permission to use someone else from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. But you couldn't think up of anything? Like, fuck, well, man, are you so creatively bankrupt that you can't even come up with, like, I don't know, fuck, the antelope.
He was already in a Spider-Man film.
Yes, he was in the Andrew Garfield Spider-Man films, and they're at
Tobey
Maguire, but
No Way. You can thank the fucking Tom Holland Spider-Man No Way Home. Now all the Spider-Verses together.
See. And why couldn't they have because the Rhino at one point was part of the Sinister Six. All you had to have
the Rhino, the Scorpion, fucking Doc Ock.
Yeah, but the thing is the Rhino's already been in a film at that point.
The Lizard.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna make this point again because apparently you didn't hear it the first time. All of the villains in No Way Home at one point were part of the Sinister Six. There were 5 of them. All they had to do was put in the Rhino, and they could have had the Sinister Six and all 3 Spider-Men. that would have been fantastic. Not to say, because I haven't seen No Way Home, not to say that No Way Home isn't a fantastic film anyway, but as soon as I saw the previews that they were including villains that were already established from other Spider-Man films, and we were dealing with a Doctor Strange effect, I knew that the other two guys, if they could get them, were going to be in the Spider-Man movie. And I told, I told coworkers,
Green Goblin being in the Sinister Six.
It would not.
Kraven was part of Sinister Six too. Kraven also could have filled in one of those roles too for being Sinister Six people.
Well, Kraven was a founding member of the Sinister Six.
Correct.
Kraven,
so was
Mysterio, Doctor Octopus, Vulture, Sandman, Electro. Those are the original six.
Hey, who was the villain in Spider-Man: Far From Home?
Mysterio.
Oh, imagine this. And we're dealing with the Doctor Strange effect, and because you have an infinite number of infinite choices and infinite universes. It's not like you couldn't bring him back. That's God damn it, time travel, and poor writing.
It's tricky.
It's stupid, is what it is. It's not tricky. It's stupid, is what they're writing.
Well, the writers were on strike, so they had to phone it in.
The writers were on strike, so you could have someone else with a fucking brain do it.
They didn't want to cross the picket line.
Yeah, fucking scabs.
I did not watch the trailer, like I said earlier, so unfortunately my input on this is not fully accurate. But I do feel like the idea of Kraven hunting the rhino makes sense, being that he's a guy who likes to hunt big game, likes to hunt these crazy things. So if he's actually hunting the rhino, I didn't watch the trailer, that would make sense. Because if you had him hunting Spider-Man, it'd be hard to make a Spider-Man movie where Kraven's just a villain in the Spider-Man movie. Yeah, that's kind of like his ultimate goal, is to be able to say a conquered Spider-Man.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, no, I get that. And you know what? We've been just blasting this thing. Ziddy, I'm going to give you some time to tell us about how you feel about the Rhino, or not the Rhino, but Kraven, because this was kind of one of the things I wanted to cover because it had something that you liked in it. So go for it, man.
I don't have like an hour speech on this.
You don't need an hour speech. Just give us like 5 minutes of your time.
I just like I said, I remember watching the cartoons and stuff and seeing this guy who just looked like a guy carrying those big dumbbells, and he's just like some dude who's just super freaking strong. And I remember him trying to, hunt Spider-Man in some comedic way, and it was kind of funny how it never actually worked out properly. That's kind of the Kraven I remember. Okay. I don't really remember a lot of the more deeper plots of his involvement with other people's storylines, because I didn't read a lot of the comics. I just, like I said, I watched a couple of the original Spider-Man series cartoons.
Okay.
But I remember liking that character just because I liked the idea of him being just kind of, I'm so big and mighty, and he always wore these, these crazy furs and stuff,
Yeah. Yeah. So in this movie, he is raised by his father to be like a big game hunter. During a hunt in Africa, he's bitten by a lion, and someone shoots the lion, and some of the blood from the lion gets hit one of his wounds and transforms him into Kraven the Hunter. First off, the idea. Okay, so basic story writing means that if you're going to have Kraven be the main focus of the movie, he's the protagonist. You don't necessarily have to have a protagonist that's a good guy. You can have a protagonist that's an evil person, but you need to establish that during the trailers. Now, that being said, he needs to have some kind of redeemable quality so that the audience actually understands where he's coming from. They may not like it. They may not like the things he's doing, but they can understand and kind of connect with him on some kind of level where he's coming from his point of view. Kraven decides, this is what I've picked up from the trailers. Kraven decides that his father is a terrible person for going big game hunting and starts killing him and all the people that work for him because apparently his father's rich. And he's just going around killing criminals. And going on this like... And his father might actually be a criminal boss in the movies. But all I've seen this father in the trailers do is go big game hunting. And he calls his father a murderer. So I kind of feel like this is like, you know, hey, here, PETA, we have a superhero for you.
PETA Man.
Yeah. Kraven the Hunter. Don't you just love that, PETA? Kraven the Hunter. He's your superhero.
I will say one thing. Sorry, I cut you off a little bit.
No, it's okay. Go ahead.
I do not like the whole. It's like origins. Like when they make up origin stories, I don't like them when they don't exist. Like from what I'm reading, from what I remember, I never remember hearing, like, oh, this guy got bit, that's why he's got these powers. But I do remember this now that I'm thinking about reading it through this Wikipedia page. That he used to have these potions he made, and that would give him superpowers. He'd make him stronger. You know, like I drank this herb thing I made. Nothing about being bit by a lion. Nothing about having that be a superpower. So that kind of pissed me off. That's kind of some made up storyline. I don't like that. Sometimes writers kind of take the liberties, do what they want with. That kind of bothers me. I didn't know that till you said that, but that bothers me.
Yeah, and then like the Rhino was also a mutant in Spider-Man. And he was called the Rhino because he was similar to the Juggernaut, and he was huge, he was abnormally like strong and muscular, and he could just like run through stuff, you know, like a rhino, and he would charge people. In this, we don't even know who it is, and they're just he's taking a potion and it turns him into like a rhinoceros dude. It turns him into Rocksteady from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles is what I'm picking up. He probably doesn't use weapons. But yeah, it turns him into Rocksteady. He probably doesn't use like machine guns and stuff like that the way Rocksteady does, but
yeah, but in reality, the Rhino is just like Doc Connors.
That doesn't. Oh God! See, if they had it so that, and they might go back and establish that whatever he's using to transform himself is based off of the research that Doc Connors does to become the Lizard.
Well, it's not just Doc Connors' research; it's also Otto Octavius' research as well.
Weird.
Yeah.
Basically, most of Marvel's villain and superheroes are based around them trying to fucking recreate the damn super soldier serum that they gave Captain America.
Yeah. Well, I mean, with Doc Connors, it wasn't that. He was just trying to restore his arm, and he thought having
Connors was looking for a cure to fucking bring back his arm. That's what he was looking for.
I remember that. And it's always funny to watch him in like the cartoons and stuff because like him and like Spider-Man, like the real like Peter Parker and like his character, like they're buddies in real life.
Yeah.
You know, like you're my scientist buddy, but now when you're this, you know, mutant, I'm like you're a bad guy now. So I don't want to kill you. I want to kind of like contain you because I know you're actually not a bad person.
Yeah.
So that's really kind of makes a really fun dynamic when you're watching those types of cartoons with him in it.
Yeah, and not just that, but like Doc Connors and the Lizard have kind of like a Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde kind of dynamic going on. And that makes for an interesting story. Why they're doing the shit that they're doing, I don't fucking know. I don't fucking know.
So one last thing I want to say about this, I don't know if we're moving on yet or not, but it kind of blew my mind that according to Wikipedia, I know it's not the greatest source in the world, but they say that Kraven is widely regarded as one of Spider-Man's most formidable enemies. Yeah, so I didn't realize he was that amazing in the Spider-Verse. And in 2009, he was the 53rd greatest comic villain of all time, according to IGN.
Yeah,
So
because
he's a lot more popular than I thought.
yeah. Well, he's like, so Kraven the Hunter is not only what was he a mutant, but he was like super smart. He could really like track you down and know how to hunt you, which made him a great villain. There was a reason why Doctor Octavius was like, "Hey, I want you to be part of my founding group to fight Spider-Man." Like the only reason why he didn't pick
Kraven could always find Spider-Man.
yeah, the only reason why he didn't pick Green Goblin for his original group, I believe, is because Green Goblin was a psychopath or he was dead.
Well,
One
I
of the
mean,
three. He was both.
Norman
Yeah.
/ Harry was never mentally stable as the Goblin. So,
Yeah, and Octavius didn't want an unstable element that couldn't be whose actions couldn't be predicted. Because he needed people that were going to follow a plan, which is kind of why he got the people he did for the original group. All right, so moving on to one more subject, which is one I'm actually looking forward to, which is the Fallout game, the Fallout show on Amazon Prime. I mean, I saw.
are you actually looking forward to Fallout, or are you just looking forward to the character that's being played by what's his face?
Walton Goggins?
Yep.
I do have a soft spot for Walton Goggins. I will admit that, but I'm looking forward to it. From what I've seen, they've established the scenery and the feel of Fallout pretty well.
Well, speaking of Walton Goggins, it's kind of funny because I watched rewatched a movie that I haven't seen in years since I've been home. I rewatched the Predators film.
Okay. What did you think of the Predators film?
Well, I've seen it the first time. I loved it.
Yeah. I think,
But Walton Goggins' character in there is a prisoner, slated for execution.
he doesn't
FBI is
last very
postponed.
long. He doesn't last very long, does he?
Oh, he lasts all the way up till Lawrence Fishburne's character decides to smoke them out and to steal their shit because his character went crazy because he's been there on the preserve for 10 years or 10 seasons.
Yeah.
Which I don't know how long the hunting seasons really are in that film, but he's been on for 10 hunting seasons and survived.
Yeah.
He's a convict. He survives all the way up till one of the predators rips out his fucking spine and everything else.
Yeah.
But I found it funny because of his character in that film, and then tying it into his character from the TV show Justified, Boyd Crowder.
Yeah. Yeah, that was where he really got his start, was on Justified. But no,
and now
go ahead.
Now he's playing the main character in the Fallout TV series.
No, he's not playing the main character. He's playing a side character.
I thought his character was the main character.
No,
That's the way they're portraying him.
no, he's at least not from what I understand. The main character is a woman. That's actually from the vault. Like, she leaves the vault, and Walton Goggins is playing essentially what's a ghoul, and he's just helping her finish up her thing, or do he's helping her out.
So the main character is a vault survivor.
Yeah, and she's looking for her dad. So think Fallout 4 with the reverse of the child watching their parent get taken instead of the parent watching their child get taken. So it's the daughter is looking for her dad who was taken away from the vault.
Okay. That might make it a little bit more interesting for me to watch this TV show.
I'm glad you just said the word TV show, because that's what I was really wanting to get into, like right after we talked about, Borderlands being a movie. I thought it'd be really fun to go right into like talking about like they're making a TV series for Fallout. I know there's a lot of Fallout games too I never played, but I've always liked that concept of making something that's got a larger storyline into a series. You have hours and hours of not hours and hours, but quite a bit more hours than one movie to really develop a story. Do you think this is going to make a good storyline? I guess I'm talking about for this many episodes.
Yeah. Well, so far they've got one season. I'm looking forward to watching it. I will watch it. I'll give my feedback on it. I will say I've finally seen something since Rogue One that Disney put out for Star Wars that isn't absolute garbage.
What's that?
Andor.
Andor.
Yeah, Andor.
Andor. No Andor.
So basically, his character's in the Rogue One movie, and the show basically establishes how he joined up with not the Resistance, how he joined up with the Rebels, and what his backstory is for that. It was actually really good. There's a whole build up to him actually meeting someone to get him involved with the Rebels, doing a mission for them, and then he, through no fault of his own, actually gets sent to prison. And where I'm at in the show, he just escaped prison. So it's interesting.
Yeah.
And another thing I like about that show is they don't make the Galactic Empire completely incompetent. I don't like incompetent villains. Okay. Guys, we are way over time. I'm so sorry.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you
We're
guys
just
are good.
sitting here.
Yeah, no, we've...
So,
go ahead.
it sounds like the Fallout's coming out tomorrow. Like, I don't know if it's going to be all the series, just like they're doing like a week at a time type bullshit. But yeah, it sounds like tomorrow you can watch the first episode for Fallout. So that's exciting.
I'm hoping it's weekly.
You like that?
The thing is I understand the streaming thing, but I don't want to stream something all day and then wait a year for something else to come out for it. I would rather have that anticipation of give me a week to kind of chew on and marinate on what I've already seen and give me a little bit more of the story.
I'm a binger. I have a hard time. Like, I actually prefer to like purposely wait 10 weeks and then binge it because I just hate waiting.
Yeah.
So we're a little bit opposite on that one.
And I can completely understand that. I used to be the exact same way, and then I started listening to and reading books, and then I started having to wait multiple years for the sequel books to come out. So,
What's a week compared to that?
Yeah, once a week compared to waiting a couple weeks is nothing.
Oh, well, let's be honest here, Chapel. You're just waiting for April 19th.
No, hang on. I got it. What comes out on April 19th? Hang on.
Oh, shit.
I'm waiting for it.
I'm racing him to see what it is. Oh, shit, there's a bunch of them. Yeah, none of these seem like obvious things.
Rebel Moon Part 2 comes out. Oh, God.
Rebel Moon, The Scar Giver, Part 2.
No. Yeah, Rebel Moon, The Scar Giver, Part 2. Which doesn't make any sense. That's how the way they do those titles doesn't make any sense. Oh God.
Which in fact it's part 2 of Rebel Moon called The Scar Giver.
Yeah. Yeah, but the way they wrote it, you would think that there's a Rebel Moon, The Scargiver part 1. Oh God. Zack Snyder, what the fuck, man? Get your shit together. English, you fucking idiot.
It's hard.
No, it's really not. Not when it's your first language.
Of course, it's been a while.
A while.
You mean a while?
A
Well,
while.
they gotta be nice. I
Wild.
guess he's from Wisconsin, so they're not always smart over there.
All right. So.
We
Okay.
just call that Murray County, Georgia.
Yeah, that's fair too.
I do want to say congrats to the Gamecocks for winning the women's basketball tournament. So good job to you guys.
Oh hell yeah. Who wound up winning the men's tournament?
UConn.
UConn.
I had them to win my bracket, but I didn't have enough other people winning before that to win. So yeah, well, UConn beat Purdue.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw
Alabama
them.
almost went. They were in the Final Four.
All right, we're gonna cut it here. But yeah. All right. Thank you all for listening. I hope we didn't go too crazy, but yeah, we went way over time today.
Well, I mean, we went way over time, but we had some serious rant.
Yeah, we had some ranting to do.
I took a small nap in between, so we're good.
All right. Well, everybody, y'all have a wonderful day. Please like, subscribe, give us some feedback. If you don't like some of our content, leave us some content that you want to hear, because we'll be happy to cover it.
We're open to suggestions.